Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the championship match of Championship Sunday here at the MLG 2011 Pro Circuit for StarCraft 2 in Dallas, Texas. I am DJ Wheat.
And I am Day 9, and again, huge round of applause for Select getting third place here at one of the sickest series of players I have seen, third ahead of so many greats and well-deserved. Select, the #2 seed, getting third. Kiwikaki, the #1 seed in the finals, against Naniwa, the Northern European who has not lost a single game in his life.
And we're also going to be setting up a scenario where, because they have met and this is an extended series, Naniwa starts 2 games up above Kiwikaki. We'll explain that a little bit more in just a second, but he could realistically, Day 9, realistically go through this competition undefeated. And, you know, someone tweeted something the other day and said, hey, this is actually really similar to what Nestea did during the GSL Season 2 finals, and it wasn't until the finals when he finally lost some games.
And I really would love to see Kiwikaki's adjustments to deal with Naniwa's style, because we've seen that if you play standard, Kiwikaki probably going to win in Protoss versus Protoss. We saw In Control try to do a Dark Templar rush, any of that sort of, you know, hoping the opponent doesn't have detection. No, Kiwikaki will get it out the exact right second to be able to hold it off. But it seems like the one thing that Kiwikaki has not been able to deal with is when Naniwa plays a little bit unorthodox, but it bends all back to the normal style. Naniwa with that weird 10-gate rushing for 1 sentry and walling off his base. Cannot talk enough about how crazy of an opening that was and how effective it ended up being.
Yeah, and coming into a matchup where you have already defeated this opponent, there's a certain level of confidence that you're going to bring with you into this matchup. Of course, Kiwikaki, on the other hand, certainly went back and was able to say, where did I go wrong? Where did I make mistakes? How can I improve? And what is up out there, StarCraft 2 fans?
The crowd is packed. You are seeing half the seats. And of course, as we pan around, you are seeing people stand all the way back to the other side. I think someone wants to smell
Someone
me.
Wants to smell. Oh, wait,
well,
wait.
You know what?
Oh, he smells good.
DJ Wheat, if you need another hit, you let me know during break, my friend.
Thank you, sir.
So we do see that everyone is gathered around here for the final match. It's going to start off on Shattered Temple. Take it, DJ Wheat.
I'm ready to get in this game.
So now we have seen that Kiwikaki has managed to hop onto the game. But again, we have to wait for Naniwa to get his left-handed computer set up.
Right.
And
I would like you to give us an introduction, especially for those that may not be familiar about the extended series. We've seen this before in a final that actually included also Kiwikaki.
That's correct. So in a general tournament, you end up just having a regular best-of-3 in the finals, or excuse me, best-of-3 in a normal match. And if it comes to the finals, the winner has to win 1 best-of-3. The loser has to win 2 best-of-3s, because the winner has yet to have lost anything yet. However, at MLG, it is an extended series where instead of just saying, okay, you arbitrarily start down a match, we grab the result from the previous series and begin that way. So right now, Kiwikaki is down 0-2. He needs to win 4 games total to take this championship, whereas Naniwa needs to win 2 games total to take this championship. It's a little bit different, same underlying idea, but it does mean that Kiwikaki has an uphill battle ahead of him.
Yeah, and as if he hasn't already had an uphill battle, he did make it all the way to the championship portion of the bracket, where he was guaranteed another shot if he were to fall in, in his journey. And here he is, so he had to fight his way back up as well. Of course, a big round of applause to all the players who played amazing games all weekend long.
Insane matches. And, you know, for any of you who didn't get the chance to see the matches that we did cast, they will all be on VODs on MLGpro.com. And for the matches that we didn't cast, those replays will also be up there as well, so do check those out. We even grabbed some and were watching them before the cast began, and the games have been ridiculous all around in the open bracket as well as in the championship pool. And for any of you who are looking to work on your play, these are the players to steal from.
Yeah, I mean, you had mentioned that before. There are going to be so many people that really want want to dissect and just take apart every single detail of what Naniwa has done, because quite frankly, just even statistically, mathematically, to think that a person could go through a competition without even dropping a game. You know, like, oh, maybe I was a little tired in that one. I did kind of make a bad decision there. I should have ate lunch, you know. But no, consistently, I mean, that is an amazing pro gamer right there.
I mean, I don't even know if he's had time to adjust to a new time zone schedule, whether he did that well on Europe. Again, I mean, for me, anytime I go traveling on a plane, I need at least a day or two to recover before the match to be in the good mental state. But Naniwa just needs to have a mouse, a keyboard, and a chair.
He's a robot.
He doesn't even need a monitor.
He's a robot, yay. It's a cyborg.
I would not be surprised if beneath that very fancy hairdo was a mind engineered of metal and silicon.
And I do think it's a kind of cool thing that he is a left-handed gamer and uses his mouse differently. Of course, we're like, you're strange. But in a world where it is such like that, it's something that in my mind I can't even contemplate, you know, being able to do that.
Are there any left-handed gamers in the crowd? Wow, there is a small contingent there.
Yeah.
That's right. Like, yeah, yes, yes,
Come
yeah.
on, guys, louder.
Oh, that was good. We needed that all weekend. So we are waiting again for Naniwa to pop into the game. And for any of you who didn't know, my name's Day 9. That's DJ Wheat. DJ Wheat, tell us a little bit about yourself. I understand you do some more shows related to pro gaming.
Yeah, absolutely. And before I do, I just want to mention, I want to hear who you guys think are going to win. So make sure to tweet DJ Wheat, Day 9 TV, It's Me JP. Tell us who is going to win. Don't forget to put hashtag MLG Dallas on there.
Definitely.
And then we'll read them offline and be like, oh, man, that guy was so right. And you don't know that we're talking about you, but we're talking about you guys out there. So, yeah, I'm DJ Wheat. You can find me on djwheat.tv. Really appreciate coming out here and getting a chance to meet all the fans, all the great audience, the community that comes out here, all the players. It's been absolutely fantastic. So, please, you can check out some of my other shows that I do, all kind of around StarCraft and pro gaming and whatnot. And they're coming back in May, Day 9. I'm really excited. So
can't wait to have you back on the air again, not including this, which does count.
Yeah, because you're going to be on Kings of 10.
That's right. That is true, because I've been working on my 3v3 and 4v4. I mean, however awesome I think I am at 1v1, I am the worst ally in a team game. I will never help you. What I will do is I'll start the game and be like, I'm going to take the expansion here and here and here and here, so don't take any of these. And then by the time I have my 5th command center planted, my allies are dead, and I'm like, come on, just money dump to me. I got this, man. Hang in there, floating around the map. Should never give up. Hang in there mode. We've seen sometimes a server instability causes maybe one of those opponents to drop. It's my build order, man.
It's how it goes. So, yeah, I can't wait for that. That'll be a lot of fun. How about you, Mr. Day 9? I understand you know a little something about StarCraft.
Oh, I have been known to do a show about StarCraft every now and again at day9.tv. And for any of you who can't catch the live show that would normally be happening 23 minutes ago, I can't actually be in 2 places at once. So you can check the archives at day9tv.blip.tv. We like to analyze why the pros do what they do, so you can do it too. It's about learning and improving, except on Mondays where we try to be goofy and mess up the games on the servers.
Yeah, and they're really successful at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so happy there's some Fun Day Monday fans out there. There are some fine folks out there with a Uniden Fighting t-shirt.
Oh, yeah?
Uniden, the one player who didn't make it out today.
Oh.
Disappointingly enough. Oh,
it's too bad.
But at next MLG, when of course the open bracket expands to over 1,000 people in the open bracket, they'll be using free-for-alls, and Uniden will definitely have a shot.
He will be
there.
on top of that.
Yeah, he will definitely. He will be a top seed FFA player.
I look forward to that.
As does every single person watching right now.
So, again, don't forget to tweet us your predictions, and I'll be interested to see what folks say. You know, throw in what you think the series will be. But Naniwa, I think he has a 2-game chance of not only winning the competition, taking home the trophy, grabbing the money, and the prestige of the inaugural MLG 2011 Pro Circuit StarCraft 2 competition.
Oh, yeah.
And being undefeated.
Yeah, and and I remember in the interview, and JP's like, how do you feel? And he's like, it was okay. I guarantee you that Naniwa is not indifferent about what's happening. It's not like, yeah, I could have gone to a Taco Bell. Instead, I went to MLG Dallas and won. Whatever. Potato. what really, you can tell that he's remaining focused. This is a huge achievement to be able to have plowed through all these players. But what I love so much about Naniwa is that right as he was guaranteed a spot in the grand final, his mind was still a year away thinking about that grand final. It's very, very easy to get a little bit, lazy after a win and think, yeah, it's fine, I'm good, I'm better than these players. But Naniwa, I guarantee you, he will be practicing all the way through to the end of the year. Yeah, absolutely, and it's so encouraging to see our pro players thinking that far down the line. Like I'm not thinking about which competition next. I am thinking about the series of them that will take me to the end and put me on the map as a StarCraft 2 player that will let me be the best player that I want to be. And props to him, man. Props to him. So our players are about to be ready. Before we hop into Game 1, let's take a look at a map video for Shattered Temple, the starting map at the Grand Finals here at MLG Dallas.
The Shattered Temple is a new take on the former ladder map, Lost Temple. Nearly identical, there are a few tweaks on the overall map design, but let's start with the basics. Spawn points exist at the 12, 3, 6, and 9 o'clock positions, but the MLG map team has modified the map so you can never spawn close by ground. This rendition of the fabled Lost Temple has destructible rocks blocking access to the corner expansions instead of island maps. This gives the players the option to take a high-yield expansion or the regular expansion in the corner. The center of the map has been opened up as well, with a lot more land to work with, and only one Xel'Naga tower exists on the map. Good luck to the players, and let's get into this game.
So give a cheer.
Yeah, let's get into this game, Day 9.
I'm ready to freak out. I wish I could just jump for joy, but unfortunately I'm plugged in. But you out there can scream and make some noise for Dignitas' Naniwa against Root Gaming's Kiwi Kaki at the grand final here at MLG Dallas 2011. Kiwi Kaki needs 4 games to take this championship, but Naniwa just 2 games away.
Yeah.
And here we go, Wheat.
All right, well, let's start off with our starting positions here on Shattered Temple. Let's start with Root Kiwi Kaki, our red Protoss in the east position. Let's hear it for Root Kiwi Kaki.
And of course, in the left position, Dignitas' Naniwa spawning as the blue Protoss. I know there's some Naniwa fans out there. Give a cheer for Naniwa, the undefeated 24-0 player. Hoping to get to that perfect 26. And you know what, DJ Wheat? Few things would be more epic than Naniwa winning this game and then Kiwi Kaki pulling the reverse all kill.
Yeah, that would be, that would be amazing. And we've seen, crazier things. So I think that it's absolutely within the realm of possibility. Now, just referring back momentarily for the to the matchups that we had seen between these two players before, they were generally pretty short games. PvP oftentimes can happen, and I kind of expect the same thing to happen here. But it is nice to just see Protoss truly representing in a PvP, in a finals, in a championship. It's awesome. It's going to mean we're going to have a ton of threads to read next week. It's phenomenal.
And it's a big throwback to the MLG Raleigh event, the inaugural SC2 event for Major League Gaming, where it was Hug versus Kiwi Kaki in the finals, Kiwi Kaki taking second. This is a big opportunity for Kiwi Kaki to one-up himself, taking that first place spot. But I want to point out, Wheat, that Naniwa did take one of these probes and scout the gold base immediately. That's always a sign that a player is making sure that he can continue to stay alive. A lot of anti-cheese running in his blood really shows why he's so able to maintain that high win rate.
Yeah, and very important. That is such a great point, because you consider all the things that can make you lose a game randomly. Did you play bad? No, I played great. I didn't scout this area over here, and I lost because and so that is such a great thing to take into consideration, because on top of his skills, on top of the talent, on top of what he has thought out in all of his matchups, he's also been very, very just always on the lookout, always on the scout, always knowing what's going on around him.
We do see both players now building Zealots, but notice Kiwikaki is a little bit ahead in all regards. Cybercore faster, the Zealot faster, and the probe counts still hanging out at the exact same. So it looks like that early anti-cheese tactic by Naniwa scouting everywhere is coming back to bite him just a little bit, and we're seeing Kiwikaki do a deviation this game. He is not getting that early second gate. In fact, neither player is.
Wow.
Might be a 4 warp gate by both, may very well be just some sort of passive play by both as well.
Yeah, we do have Stalkers going out for both of our players. There goes the Warp Gate research currently underway. A little bit ahead for Kiwikaki, but 2 more gates being dropped right now for Kiwikaki, with 1 more gate on the way. Actually, 3 gates on the way for Kiwikaki.
And Naniwa again is looking. I mean, he's clearly behind Kiwikaki, but I'm a little surprised at how far behind. It looks like Naniwa is going to be pushing out with an early Zealot Stalker force. Both players will be, but will Kiwikaki pick off the probe? No, doesn't look like it. We do see that Kiwikaki gets the first shot off, and this is very smart by Naniwa. He is target firing the Stalker because he knows that Stalkers are much faster than Zealots, so if he can pick off his opponent's Stalker, he'll be in good shape. And it looks like Kiwikaki got the better end of that exchange, dealing hull damage.
Yeah, and going to bring it back. Zealot's going to go in one more time. Stalker does come up. Stalkers are actually about even right now. He's going to go back, try to get some more hits and some decent micro going back and forth here, but both players being very respectful. Go back. Also, Kiwikaki knowing he's so close to his opponent's base where suddenly another Stalker could appear, and then all of a sudden it can go downhill from there. So wise to turn back and head to base.
Looks like both players did open up 4 gate, but no all-in style. Both of them doing it, again, defensively. Earlier Twilight Council by Naniwa. So very cool to see him able to have so much flexibility. They're both even in probe count now, and in production we do see that Kiwikaki is still a little bit behind.
And Naniwa, with the Twilight Council down, you know, we've seen Kiwikaki like to go Blink Stalker an awful lot. So something to consider there, and we are going to have the Robo facility coming out for Kiwikaki here, as we have Naniwa with his group of Death Stalkers, 5 of them marching over to his opponent's base, check things out, see if anything might be going on here down below, but he is going to peek up the ramp.
Looks like he is just skirting the edge, because once you get past the bottom of that ramp, that line means you can be force fielded and picked off. We also see in the main of Kiwikaki, he has begun to get that robotics facility. Again, that safety procedure that we saw barely be able to spot Dark Templar in time, but it's going to be Blink Stalkers that he's up against. And both these players are very even, neck and neck at this point. I'm not even so sure that Kiwikaki would want to go Blink Stalker at this point, because if we look at that unit counting station, Naniwa is ahead by 3 Stalkers.
Yeah, this should be interesting. Only 1 probe separates the 2 as well. And Blink is going to be done really, really soon. I would expect possibly attack right away. Now, we are going to have the Observer coming out basically at the same time that Blink is going to finish. Here come the nope, Stalkers are just going to come out. So watch for the Observer. And is he even going to go over? Well, we'll see him travel over to his opponent's base. And here we go. Stalkers are incoming. Blink is done. And how will he play this one day? Should be interesting to see what happens.
Looks like Colossus is going to be the tech of choice, and wow, it looks like Kiwikaki going for, oopsie daisies, a pretty early force field. Naniwa using a Scout, Blink Stalker, and Kiwikaki's going to have to pull way back to get that guaranteed kill on it, and Naniwa has the advantage of seeing absolutely everything that is going on. We even saw there was a forge that was getting constructed, but that got canceled because of the fact that, again, he got the chance to see that Robo facility. There's the pylon going down for Kiwikaki, and you know what? Naniwa doing the smart response, taking that Nexus.
Yeah, Nexus does go down, and we could have another push here by Naniwa. He's done a good job of checking all around the base. Anywhere where, again, there could... Oh, he's going to get some vision and hop right up into his opponent's base. He's going after that robotics facility almost immediately. It is already down, taking a lot of damage right there.
Oh, no, but getting really caught off guard. He has to blink back. This could be a gigantic blunder by Naniwa. He is losing so many Stalkers. We see Kiwikaki has pulled way far ahead in the force fields. The meticulous micro Naniwa trying to go for the power play, but losing almost all of those Stalkers, and now finally managing to pop down. But Kiwikaki he will be able to do a massive counter push.
Yeah, it's like, well, I lost my robotics facility, but again, I killed a bunch of units here, and maybe Naniwa getting a little greedy with wanting to go after that kill. He is going to move forward here. Don't forget that Naniwa does have, Blink Micro to work with here, and so we'll see if that can turn the tides at all of this game. He's going to try to work it here in the middle, taking out some of these Zealots at the front. There actually are more Stalkers now for Naniwa. Zealots are coming in. He will blink these units back very, very nicely. More Zealots falling. There are 5 Zealots left, and he's going to be very careful not to give up too many of those Stalkers in that exchange.
Kiwikaki was so far ahead, but now Naniwa beginning to dart forward, really knowing the power of these Blink Stalkers, trying to spread out, doing an amazing job. More Blink Stalkers coming in right now for Naniwa, and suddenly Kiwikaki is the player who is playing from behind.
And he's got to target fire these on the back while he's on the retreat, trying to do as much damage. 4 more Stalkers coming in from the ground, but Naniwa does have a blink at this time. It's going to be all about target firing them down, and the numbers are about even. Naniwa has so low health Stalkers, but he's managing them so nicely, and we're going to see him continue to chase those Stalkers up into the base of his opponent. Only 4 left. Oh my God, Day 9.
And it looks like a lot of these Stalkers are low on health. He does end up losing a couple of them in the retreat. If he can get just 1 more, but no, not enough time. Naniwa does have this expansion done, but hasn't even had the time to transfer probes in the unit counting station. We do see that, well, it's pretty darn close, but you know what? That extra base for Naniwa is going to be huge in the later stages.
Yeah, the other thing, too, is that in consideration, where you did have Kiwikaki ahead, he lost his robotics bay. He's got this, the robotics facility. He's got a bay down that's doing absolutely nothing. He's still not rebuilt that, had to deal with that. So even though a lot of units were lost for Naniwa, it's kind of like Kiwikaki with his advantage just was equalized again almost immediately, throwing that Nexus down, but it is going to take forever to get done. We got cannons at the front here. The amount of probes that are here for Naniwa are ridiculous. And actually, just take a look at the unit counting station. 40 probes to 29, to think that he was making all those units, reinforcing that army and keeping this count up is quite amazing. 15 Stalkers to 8 Stalkers right now in favor of Naniwa.
To think if Kiwikaki had just held patiently and rebuilt, expanded right when he ended up killing off so many units, Naniwa would have been on the defensive, but instead we got the real see a testament to the power of those Blink Stalkers against those Zealots, and now it looks like Naniwa is starting to move in again. There's the Colossus moving on forward, and Naniwa knows that is an engagement. He does not want to try to battle thin.
Well, Colossus does move to the front, but he'll be very, very careful about that. A couple of Zealots will move in. There is also an observer just above that army of Naniwa. So, yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right if you would have decided to just hold back a little bit. But, I think even you said it, like, it did look like he was going to have a nice counterforce to go up with. But quite frankly, Naniwa is showing us that, hey, I can use Blink Stalkers really, really well. And ultimately turning the tides of that battle. So, hats off to him. Meanwhile, started those upgrades now for Dignitas Naniwa. The Colossus continue to come out for Kiwikaki as it did. He did rebuild that robotics facility. I'm an idiot, Day 9.
It's a hallucinated Colossus. We do also see 7 gateways down right now for Naniwa. Naniwa making a pretty bold push, trying to snipe those Zealots at the front, but Kiwikaki doing a good job making sure that, oh, that was a little bit bold by Naniwa, but very well controlled nonetheless. We do see that Kiwikaki overall has the smaller army, but not by much, just 20 food behind. Naniwa, again, doing some very cool harassment in the main, does have the ability to do that.
Yeah, I don't even think he saw that Stalker warp in, but when it did blink over, it just managed to stay in the base and decided to go ahead and move up. So it's going to do a little bit of harassment there. And here could come a possible engagement. Zealots do go down. Got to watch out. There's the blink on the Colossus. One will go. Oh, one does go down. The second one's right behind it. No, it manages to steal it. No, it goes down. And Naniwa with almost a complete surround of Kiwikaki's units.
And it looks like Kiwikaki trying to spread out a little bit, but Naniwa blinks to regroup. And there's the good game. 25-0 for Naniwa. KiwiKaki had the lead after that suicide play by Naniwa, but immediately tried to counterattack. Could have expanded safely, but you know what? I think every player out there would have done the same thing as KiwiKaki. I know I was almost certain that when KiwiKaki did that counterplay that there would be very little Naniwa could do about it, but that Blink Stalker Wheat was just amazing control.
Yeah, and you know, I'd have to go back and actually look at it in full, but it seemed that there were moments where he was actually blinking, you know, a group of these stalkers to deal with the zealots that then, you know, as they spread out, then they just had to run away. So, you know, we see the individual blink stalker just move them back as they are getting focus fired or going down, but he was almost rendering KiwiKaki's zealots completely ineffective because they were just running, and I think that ultimately just turned the tide there.
It's an amazing play because you know what? I mean, you always tend to look at the overall food, and it was, I think, 9 or 10 Zealots and 9 Stalkers versus the 12 Stalkers for Naniwa. But by blinking, it was basically 12 Stalkers versus 10 Stalkers. An amazing job by Naniwa, basically not letting the Zealots ever do a hit. It looks like KiwiKaki has chosen the map Metalopolis. Let's go ahead and take a look at a map video to introduce the second game between these two players.
The bread and butter of the StarCraft 2 map pool, Metalopolis is a standard in the latter set of maps. A 4-player map, spawning points can be found at the 12, 3, 6, and 9 o'clock positions, and starting bases are on a raised platform. High-yield mineral patches can be found back-to-back in the middle of the map alongside 2 Xel'Naga watchtowers. MLG Metalopolis has 4 spawns where you can never spawn close by ground, but close by air and cross-map positions can still occur. This will typically breed macro matches. Good luck to the players, and let's get into the game.
And we are live. The game is about to go in. Guys, I am so excited. Naniwa could go undefeated this competition if he wins this game. But you had mentioned one of the most amazing things could happen right now is that the all-kill from KiwiKaki to turn the tables completely day 9. Is it possible?
I really think of all players in this tournament, KiwiKaki is the one who can hold down under this kind of pressure. KiwiKaki right now down 0-3 to Naniwa, but he is not out of the woods yet. Naniwa can still end up getting knocked out. This is the map choice for KiwiKaki, but remember, KiwiKaki is going to have to be up against every single map choice from Naniwa coming up in the next 4 games. So that does mean that KiwiKaki is going to have extremely solid play. And again, Naniwa, look at this very early scout.
Yeah, very early scout. Just real quickly, we've got our our red Protoss root KiwiKaki spawning in the 9 o'clock position or the west position on Metalopolis, and we've got Dignitas Naniwa spawning as the blue Protoss in the south position.
Yeah, Naniwa continuing to chrono boost those probes. And, you know, in terms of best of 7 logic, if you are up a really high count, you can afford to do something very risky in order to be able to force your opponent to make a mistake in a later game. It's a very, very effective technique. A lot of players in a best of 5 actually do very goofy cheeses at the outset, so that way the opponent is thrown off in the later stages. Both players, though, look like they are opening up standard as can be. And that one probe from Naniwa is going to continue to try to do some harassment on the mineral line.
And you know, one time I haven't seen players do anything like that and really focus on some sort of possible unorthodox strategy in a best of 5 is when they have gone undefeated through the entire tournament because they are riding on a giant wave of momentum and hope to just crush their opponent with it. And so that's why I expect, in fact, if I was going to think to see anything crazy for some reason, I would just probably pin that on KiwiKaki.
KiwiKaki, I think, is going to have to get real creative if he wants to be able to stay alive in this tournament. Both of them opening up standard, Cybernetics Core, and Zealot coming up. Both of them seem to have saved the same amount of chrono boost, 60 for KiwiKaki, 60 for Naniwa. Both of them continuing to peruse around one another's base. No gas steal upcoming. Almost certainly going to be a typical 4 warp gate. Would not be surprised to see KiwiKaki return to that bread and butter fast blink.
Yeah, it's a good one. Oh.
No way.
All right. Well, let's see if it could.
No.
You know what, though? You know what? Kiwikaki did see this probe kind of skirting around the edge of the base. Now, a lot of times when that might happen, you might say, hey, where'd that guy come from? I better check something out. So something that we will keep in mind right here. Meanwhile, the Zealot for Naniwa trying to chase out that probe. I will keep my eye on the minimap like I have.
And he spots the proxy pylon. Great move right there by Kiwikaki. Gonna pick that off. Naniwa guaranteed to be behind. Briefly checks in there for the probe, and with these 3 popping out, the one advantage Naniwa does have is he can get an exact count on that gateway set, and it is going to be a lot higher than he wants.
And we've got another probe up here for Naniwa, and I think he wants to keep going. Like maybe he almost wanted that to be found. Pylon will go down over there near the expansion as well as the Stalker and the Zealot has come forward. There is one Stalker from Kiwikaki on the ramp. Right behind him is that Zealot. Another gateway is down. Excuse me, Day 9.
And we do see Naniwa behind a little bit of money. That's going to be critical because that means Kiwikaki will have one additional Stalker. Kiwikaki now in the main, seeing that it is 4 Warp Gate versus 4 Warp Gate action. And look at this, Kiwikaki opting to throw down 1 sentry. He knows he's going to be ahead in the count because he killed off that pylon. And now Naniwa trying to dart up, and a little bit of a miss there by Kiwikaki. He would have loved to pinch off one of those units.
And we've got another pylon right here on the corner of Kiwikaki's base. So he's got 2 areas that he can warp in from at this point. Kiwikaki going to continue to warp units defensively into the top of that ramp. Meanwhile, Kiwikaki has a pylon right back here.
Looks like there is a pylon in the base by Kiwikaki. This could be a really great play. He has a lot of those units from Naniwa back in the main instead of at the front. More units getting warped in by Kiwikaki. It looks like he is going to have a solid hold.
Yes, he will, and although he does lose a little bit of supply there, it does not matter. 2 of those Zealots are not there. He's going to try to take out that pylon from afar. Zealot does come forward, and Naniwa is going to try this attack with some more units, but there's a lot of Zealots there and a good number of Stalkers. Actually, more Stalkers now for Kiwikaki. Zealots moving forward, though, and Naniwa actually doing a ton of damage here.
But Naniwa just doesn't quite have the unit count that Kiwikaki does. Look at how many units are on the field for Kiwikaki, and this pylon is even low. But, Kiwikaki's Zealots even getting themselves an extra kill, and these extra Zealots that were back in the main. Again, I love that pylon placement by Kiwikaki. And there, man, just to pick off that pylon, 31 to 42. Ahead in every possible way. Kiwikaki just needs to play smart and play safe.
All right, well, although he did do a little bit of damage initially to the units that were there, Kiwikaki, as you mentioned, held it very, very nicely. Is he going to scout that additional pylon as well? As soon as that Nexus does go,
Wow, Kiwikaki on his game. Spotting for everything, man, just to pick it off. And look at Dignitas's Naniwa, 35 of 34.
And look, I mean, that's going to give him a pretty nice little supply block there. He's going to have a couple other probes coming out, but that will put him behind just momentarily. We're going to have a robotics facility go down now, as it does look like Kiwikaki will move forward. Now, this is something that didn't work out for him so well in the last game, but this is a little bit different because his opponent's not sitting there with Blink.
So we do see Kiwikaki swinging around to the front end. Nothing coming out quite yet from the Twilight Council. Has to be a little bit careful on that positioning. Kiwikaki really should not engage here. This is going to be a little bit overly risky. He's going to send up 1 Zealot just to poke, and he will be returning back home at the end. So now he does end up getting Blink out. Has a lot of money stockpiled up. Could go for an expand. Could make more Zealots. Any option that he really chooses at this point is going to be a good one.
Well, I think this should be interesting. I mean, I got to think that Naniwa is thinking, okay, what am I going to do here? Now, I would really like to see something like a War Prism come out of this robotics facility. You know, I think that Naniwa knows that he's got to be a little bit behind, and there's something that he's got to do to come up here. But no, it's not going to happen. Robotics Bay going down, and he'll just go ahead and hold on. He can defend in that base with the sentries. He can sit there and force field for a while, but I got to think that at this point, Kiwikaki eventually will throw down a Nexus as well, and he's got Blink almost finished, so it's kind of like he wants to give him a taste of his own medicine.
I mean, Kiwikaki just having great timing with this blink, but Naniwa committing to holding on for as long as humanly possible. Kiwikaki continuing to mine gas now from 2 geysers, but the real danger at this phase in the game is looks like never mind. So many Blink Stalkers advancing forward. He's going to pop those safely off. Going to leave one up on the high ground as long as he can, so that way he can continue to get that vision, and Naniwa going to continue to block that down. The real danger, though, is that if Naniwa continues to try to hold on for way too long, then that means Kiwikaki could be worn out going into the next game.
Yeah, we're going to have another Mortal coming out here as well. Preemptive force field. He'll take out that pylon, no problem. Oh, and there's the blink.
The blink to the high ground. See you later, Immortal. Stalkers getting surrounded. Kiwikaki ripping everything apart, picking off all those Stalkers that are warping in, and the best treat of all, 5 Zealots, 6 Zealots on the low ground. Naniwa might end up losing the first game of the entire tournament, and it looks like Pro's being pulled off now. 1 Immortal hanging back, more force fields at the front. The Blink Stalkers continuing to rally forth, and Naniwa might lose the first loss of the entire tournament.
Wow.
25-1. Kiwikaki keeps the hope alive.
Nesty
style.
That Zerg player who did so well throughout the competition, exactly the same thing. Went forever, lost a few games. But Naniwa, you know, it's like, well, he lost a game. It's what now? Well, he continues to play because now he has map choice.
Yeah.
And, you know, what he decided to go for, I think, you know, we talked about a risk that he might take in the grand scheme of everything. And although there wasn't some huge, crazy, I'm kind of rushing this one, let's go, he did have several proxy pylons that got taken out. He gave away a few units at the ramp. So, you know, there was like a little bit of risk in there. And although it did not pay off, Kiwikaki certainly capitalized on it and takes away the first game from Dignitas Naniwa, and also he keeps himself alive in this championship series.
And one thing to note, though, I don't quite like that kind of riskiness because it's nothing insane, like doing a Forge Cannon Rush or doing a Proxy 2-gate. That really puts you out of your comfort zone as Kiwikaki. But now, next game, what is Kiwikaki going to think? I guess I better scout my base because sometimes I'll get a free pylon.
That's very true.
And, I mean, that's the sort of play that you want to make. For instance, you know, the In Control TLO game is a great example. You leave the probe there and you think, well, if the opportunity arises, I guess I'll be able to warp in. That's great, but up to this point now, it means that Kiwikaki is starting to actually feel like Naniwa is mortal, which so far has actually seemed fairly not true. The next map is going to be Shakura's Plateau, a good map for defensive play. We will be taking a look at that map video before we go directly into game number 3.
Shakura's Plateau was one of the first macro maps introduced into the official Blizzard ladder. Players spawn at the 11, 1, 7, and 5 o'clock positions, but the MLG map team has enforced cross-position spawns on this map, meaning if you spawn at 1, your opponent will spawn at 7 no matter what. Natural expansions can be found right down the ramp from your main, and the rest of the map can be your third, but typically players go for the natural of another main base to begin with. Destructible rocks open up a back channel to another main base with an expansion in between. This map is one of the few without any high-yield expansions and typically creates macro-oriented situations. Good luck to the players, and let's get into the game.
And here we are going into Root Gaming Kiwikaki against Dignitas. As Naniwa, give a cheer for these players. Kiwikaki, 3 games remaining. Naniwa, 1 game remaining. Can Kiwikaki pull the miracle, or will Naniwa maintain this streak of dominance? Naniwa is the blue Protoss in the bottom left, in the top right, Kiwikaki, the red Protoss.
You know, either way, Dave, both these guys deserve a huge amount of praise for making it this far, for accomplishing, for just continuing to sort of dictate the types of players they are in competitions, how consistent they are, etc. So, I mean, these guys are amazing. Protoss should be proud. And
looks like the crowd is having some fun themselves. They cannot wait to see the outcome of this final match. And I'm starting to get a little concerned, because you know what? Look at how tenacious Naniwa is about checking around all the corners of the map. But what made me a little worried is that he began by scouting this left side. I know that cheese is definitely a way that you don't want to lose, but, you know, there's a time when you can actually be overly cautious. Naniwa's checking so many bases that we can actually see that the gateway from Kiwikaki is far ahead. The probe count is actually a little bit ahead for Kiwikaki. He's actually going to finish his probes earlier.
Yeah, and I guess you gotta be careful about that. You just never know. But you're right. Being overly all right, being overly cautious is something that could hurt you, put you behind, make you give away a unit or something that you don't particularly want to give away. However, he will go ahead and march right into the space without that probe seeing him. So one thing that he can take away from that, but he also knows there is no crazy proxy anything coming his way, and he's only got one place to really investigate, and that, of course, being the main of Kiwikaki.
Now, one thing to note, Naniwa actually checked this main, and I think he may not be aware that he cannot spawn in horizontal positions. It's only cross-map spots. Sometimes players don't do their homework on the adjustments for tournament-specific maps. But Dignitas's Naniwa, again, very experienced player, knows exactly what he's doing. It won't put him that far behind, but Kiwikaki is a great player at getting little edges, and there is the trademark Kiwikaki move we've seen all tournament long, the gas steal.
Yep, gas steal goes down. Now, interestingly enough, in both games that Kiwikaki gas steal Nani didn't do anything about it. He go ahead and let it finish. It sat there. This time he is going to go ahead and take it out, and I wonder if that's some sort of indication. You do know that in that first game that they played, he left the gas there, went in, attacked his opponent. It was GG at that point. This time, though, going to knock that thing down as quick as he possibly can. Warp Gate research up for both of our Protoss. What do you expect? Stalker out, going to also beat away on that assimilator.
Somehow Naniwa is just far behind Kiwikaki in terms of this production. I mean, we're seeing these target fire, the assimilator, getting out that second stalker, but we're seeing Kiwikaki get way ahead in the 4 warp gate fronts. That's going to help him a ton going into these stages. And also, this is an easy, free move for Kiwikaki because he just saw all these units back home trying to kill off an assimilator.
Yeah, exactly. He can do whatever he wants. He doesn't have to worry about anything popping up, and it's a very, very good point. We have a stalker from Naniwa coming out. There comes the Zealot. Oftentimes we see these early little micro wars between these guys, but I do think Kiwikaki will go ahead and full retreat because this second stalker is going to be coming up here, and he does not want to lose either of these units early on. It does look like the Zealot is down to 19 hit points.
Oh, and Zealot's in the main. Oh my goodness, Naniwa might lose to the exact trick that was done by him in the previous game, and Naniwa can't believe it.
Yes, he can't. Probes are being pulled away, taking away the mining time. These gateways aren't done, and they need that money in order to make this work. Going after a pylon, and he will continue to beat away on those probes as well. Units trying to get back as quick as they possibly can, but not. Oh my God, Stalker's now in the base. This is a huge, huge, huge amount of damage to Naniwa.
And Naniwa now only getting his 3 warp gates started. Those little edges that Kiwikaki was gaining at the start of the game coming real right here. Kiwikaki will be able to take this game surrounding those Zealots. Probes have not been mining. 3 minerals remain for Naniwa, and Kiwikaki wins the game, takes the series to 3-2 Naniwa. 25-2 in this tournament. Kiwikaki equally skillful, has only lost 3 games, all of them to Naniwa. These players incredibly close in skill level.
The beta is back.
Oh,
the beta is back. I feel like I'm watching games for the bit. He hit a pylon in his base, and it worked. Units in it worked. It was awesome.
His Nexus was here, and a pylon was right over there. And he just waltzed right on in. So it looks like we're going to get confirmation on what the next map is. This means we'll be going technically. I guess it would be to game 6 right now, because that does mean the series is 3-2.
Right,
3 in favor of Naniwa, 2 in favor of Kiwikaki. So Kiwikaki needs 2 more games. Just 30 minutes ago, he was 4 games away. He was almost going to get a complete shutout, a 4-0 victory in the finals, but Kiwikaki bringing it back after a tense game 5 and 4.
And I'm excited to know what the next map is going to be. Again, the one disadvantage that Kiwikaki has is that Naniwa gets the map selection. Now, in a mirror match, sometimes it's not as important what your opponent's going to pick at you because you both have the same thing to throw at one another. So it's like less of an issue, say, than like a TBC or something like that. So, you know, it's one advantage Naniwa has right now. Of course, he only has one more mistake to make. And then you can erase everything and go, hey, whoever wins this game, champion.
It looks like they are deciding on the next map. It's going to be Icy Cup Test Bug. We've got a chance to see a PvP on this map, so that is going to be an interesting choice for Naniwa. The distances on this map are quite large. 4 gates, you generally want to have a lot of open space at the front, but defensively, I think this would favor a longer-term game.
Yeah, I mean, it could. It's really going to depend on how aggressive these players want to be, on if they want to take it to the longer game, and quite frankly, I think that would be amazing to see something like that, like this, go that long. I loved Kiwi's long game in some of the other matchups. I really want to see Naniwa's long-term game, and let's take a look at the MLG Icy Cup map Test Bug.
Developed by Filip Superumenschwik, Test Bug is the only 3-player map in the MLG map pool. Players can spawn at 11, 7, and 3 o'clock in 3 different terrain types on the map. Natural expansions can be found right down the ramp from the main, with 2 options for a third, a regular mineral patch and a high yield patch in the center of the map blocked by rocks. 4 Xel'Naga towers exist on the map, but only 1 is accessible from the start. Players must destroy destructible rocks in order to gain access to the other 3, which offer sight right in front of the natural expansions of their opponents. Gas vents show players where the Xel'Naga towers can see, so you know exactly where to place your units. The map also has a wide open middle, which can lead to some exciting open field macro engagements. Good luck to the players, and let's get into the game.
Let's give it up for Dignitas's Naniwa and Root Gaming's Kiwikaki. Can Kiwikaki pull it back, the reverse all kill, or will Naniwa be able to close it out right here?
I do not know, but I am excited to find out the answer to that question, as it will be determined here in just either 1 or 2 possible games. 1 game would be if Naniwa manages to pull it off. Another game, 2 games would be if Kiwikaki manages to pull it off or wins this one, takes it to a last game, and then it is up in the air for either player. Now, you'd mentioned over scouting, and it was kind of like, it came and rang so true in my ears, because it was like, okay, scouting very diligently early on, diligently getting ready, and then just kind of
silence.
Yeah.
Everything getting a little bit behind. We can see Kiwikaki having a just gentle probe lead, but wow, no chrono boost for Kiwikaki. Is there any chrono boost for Naniwa? Both of them going 11 gate. Whoa. That is going to be quite a surprise. And oh my gosh, look at this. Naniwa still saving the chrono boost. If he goes for a 4 warp gate zealot all in, I will be shocked.
I will be shocked too. We'll have to see what's going to happen here. Don't get us all excited, Dana. Just chill out. There's the assimilator going down for both sides. Actually, Naniwa, or excuse me, Kiwikaki's, they're taking a little bit longer. And we're going to see the scout. The other thing I really like about Test Bug is the whole 3 places to actually spawn. And of course, I don't think we've seen this particular spawn location either.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing Kiwikaki move to the right side of the map. Going to get there a little bit late, but fortunately, because Naniwa is doing literally an exact mirror, that means that Kiwikaki is going to know definitively what his buddy is up to. And there we see Naniwa starting to move forward. It looks like he might go for that very unusual gateway wall-off at the front. We'll end up seeing what'll happen, but again, the defensive play is a little more favored on this map because of how closed off this space is.
Kiwikaki's going to gas steal yet again and try to stop anything that could come from a second gas. Now, we do have Cybernetics Core done for Naniwa, and there the Chrono Boost starts to get spent as the Warp Gate research is underway. It looks like Naniwa also with a gas steal, so you do it, I do it too, monkey see, monkey do, and they're going to go ahead and go off, but Kiwikaki actually canceled his, didn't he?
looks like he wants to save up, get a strong for Warp Gate. We do see Naniwa taking his own gas. I really don't know about this decision, Wheat. This could potentially be absolutely devastating. Kiwikaki just going to go for that standard for Warp Gate. He knows this build in and out, or will he? It looks like he is pulling back a little bit, having a memory of that game on Crossfire, where the gateway wall off by Naniwa is what is coming up. Let's go to the unit counting station. Looks like Kiwikaki is the one ahead in probes as well.
Yeah, so we'll have to see if there's anything that possibly Kiwikaki learned from the previous engagement. This is pretty nice how it kind of works out right here. We do have another Stalker on the way, but it is really a very, very similar build that we're seeing out of both of these guys. Of course, Naniwa with both of his gases up. We are seeing the Stalker take down this Naniwa assimilator inside the base of Kiwikaki, and right now Warp Gate is literally finishing almost in tandem with one another, and we have the pylon going down for Kiwikaki already.
Oh, that's such a smart play. He's just trying to throw his opponent off. He's taking an expansion. There's the cancel. We see Naniwa building a robotics facility, so it looks like Naniwa now going to be committed to some kind of early push. Kiwikaki now throwing down more Stalkers. Never once revealed, and we're going to have ourselves a long-term Protoss versus Protoss.
Yeah, this should be pretty interesting. As one guy was excited for that, but now as they're all realizing what they're gonna absolutely be excited. So Kiwikaki gonna use these early Stalkers to spread himself out, get some vision here. He'll chase away a probe in the middle. Meanwhile, what kind of response have we seen so far from Naniwa? Well, not much. Just taking a quick look at his vision and just what he knows about Kiwikaki's base. Sees the two gateways. Of course, the assimilator was taken down, so obviously he has got an idea of where he's going to go with this, but kind of in the dark as it stands right now, especially obviously with the Nexus.
Immortal coming out. This is a dangerous defensive play to do when you're thinking your opponent is going to go for Blink Stalker. It's great against that. If you think there's a 4 Warp Gate Stalker coming, it's great against that, but right now it means that Naniwa is going to be low on gas, in particular Wheat. Just look at this. 3 units able to be morphed in, only going to be able to morph in 1 at a time because of the fact that he is behind. Kiwikaki playing it safe, now building a photon cannon. What would mess Kiwi up is if he tried to get a Robo Bay himself. He's almost committed to doing a big Warp Gate style, but I really think that that's one of Kiwikaki's strengths.
Yeah, and you know, we're seeing a second Immortal come out of here. Naniwa just going to completely skip an observer in this case, and if he was going over here and seeing what was going on, certainly he would be changing his game plan just a little bit, and this expansion is well up right now. Plenty of income coming in. Just taking a look at that income tab a little bit. He is about 3 harvesters ahead. Yes, Day.
And there's the 2 extra gateways. Kiwikaki
nice.
Can constantly produce out of these gateways. Naniwa cannot. Look at the army value tab. We see Naniwa a little bit ahead, but Kiwikaki is now going to be slowly pulling ahead as long as he can macro well enough. We do see that probe starting to swing out, doing again a diligent job scouting, but Naniwa will probably end up being forced to do some sort of 2 Colossus no-range timing push.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think forced is a great way to put it. And, oh, we do have the pylon over here on the corner now. I think it'd be really wise if he had those Stalkers still out there to try to keep this information in the dark as much as possible. Just take a look at the pylon. He did not see much of anything. Saw a pylon and a cannon there. So that's a pretty good idea what might be going down. Is Kiwikaki going to put a pylon right back here? I do believe as the first Colossus has come out, the second one is on the way, and this could be absolutely devastating here.
Uh-oh, it looks like Naniwa is going to move down his ramp. He's picking off this probe, but he's only doing it, and he's going to pull back. He's waiting for that second Colossus. He's chrono boosting. He's committing to this attack, and it looks like Kiwikaki is going to be advancing forward. Kiwikaki needs to begin massing those Zealots and Sentries now. Those are the important units that will allow him to macro a little bit better. He's picking off these destructible rocks. They're down to about a 1/3 health. He's going to have a great spot of everything that's about to pop out. It looks like it's a little under a 1/3 health, and it looks like, again, Kiwikaki needs to keep that macro strong. Just now getting the Twilight Council in terms of army size. We see that Naniwa is a little bit ahead.
Well, I'm not really sure why Kiwikaki is choosing to move forward with these Stalkers. He is going to go in, just poke a little bit, gets an idea of the type of and the size of the army that Naniwa has, but he is going to give chase right there. There you see all the units that you just mentioned, Dave, being warped in from down.
Oh! But oh no, Kiwikaki supply blocked. He is supply blocked 82 of 85. He cannot reproduce any units at this point in time. We see those 3 pylons getting produced right now, and he's trying to get into a good position, and here's the huge engagement, and it looks like, amazing force fields by Naniwa. The huge force fields. He will be forced to retreat. These Colossi are doing massive damage. Will he get one? He will not. He is going to have to pull back. Can Kiwikaki macro to keep himself alive?
I don't know. Those Immortals are still doing a lot of damage, too. We've got Hurt Stalkers for Kiwikaki that are looking real bad. And this expansion is incredible danger right now as probes are dying everywhere, as well as the remaining units for Kiwikaki. 3 Stalkers left, and we are going to have a few Zealots warped in here through the back, but it's simply not enough. More coming from that pylon that was not spotted. Good game,
Naniwa! The European, the champion, given a huge cheer. That timing push, impeccably executed. The 2 Immortals, the massive number of Zealots, and those 2 Colossi popping out at just the right time. That early expand from Kiwikaki was looking so strong, but Naniwa found the timing push that he needed to break it.
Absolutely amazing. Every time you think, oh my gosh, this might be it, it might go to the deciding game, Kiwikaki making the right decisions, Naniwa able to do what people say is almost impossible to do in StarCraft 2, and that is like take an advantage, turn it upside down on its head, and go with it right there. That was really phenomenal. And his record, oh my God, throughout the whole thing, losing 2 games in the final, but ultimately winning it all day. Quite amazing. And a big congratulations to both the first and the second place players. Naniwa's first outing to MLG.
There is the champion on the left, Naniwa from Sweden, and on the right, Kiwikaki from Canada, taking another second place finish here at MLG. Both these players, again, having remarkable consistency. Naniwa demonstrating that without losing any games until the final. Kiwikaki demonstrating that by always having a single-digit place finish whenever he seems to enter a tournament.
Yeah, and Kiwikaki, he brought back the beta. He brought it back tonight. I saw it right there. I feel like I just haven't seen it forever. You know, In Control did it, but that was just such a month and a half into beta.
What a nostalgic moment that Kiwikaki provided for us.
It was really good.
So that is going to mean that Naniwa, again, the grand champion, is now, I think, going to really reshape the Protoss versus Protoss matchup as people start to mimic how he ends up playing. Everyone loves to just do the 4 warp gate, flip the coin at the start of the game, and pray. But we saw Naniwa in that first game of the grand final was behind, but did the amazing Blink Stalker control on Shattered Temple to pick off so many Zealots without taking any damage. Even doing that seemingly suicidal pop-up into the main to pick off the robotics facility. Really phenomenal. We're going to take a brief, quick trip to the main stage with JP McDaniels and our 2 finalists for an interview.
All right, we're here right now. Farouk here with the winner, Naniwa, right here. Now let me ask you a quick question. Congratulations, first of all, on winning Dallas StarCraft 2. Quick question real quick now. You dropped your first 2 games of the tournament here. Right, you said he made a man, but he decided to come through. Well, here's Sundance D. Giovanni with the hardware for you. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Farouk. First off, I want to congratulate you on an amazing win and a great run. And second, I want to thank this amazing StarCraft 2 crowd that's out here. It's been an incredible weekend. It's been challenging to say the least, but this makes it all worthwhile, and this is the reward to see all of you here watching this incredible match. So here you go. This one's for you. It's a little heavy there. Be careful. Congratulations to our first StarCraft 2 2011 MLG Pro Circuit winner. Amazing stuff, man. Congratulations.
All right, once again, congratulations to the 2011 first stop on the Major League Gaming Pro Circuit for StarCraft 2, Naniwa right there. All right, we're going to throw it back to DJ Wheat and Day 9. Take us home.
Thank Thank you, Farouk. And you know what? Let's also take the opportunity to congratulate the international players that have come over and had success in MLG. Now, 2 MLGs in a row, won by European players. So hats off to them. I hate to say it, but Slasher was right. There you go,
that is
Slasher.
a brutal defeat for Mr. Wheat here in the grand finals, but absolutely one thing that is great about these MLG tournaments, they are always international events. And we're rapidly going to continue to expand to more into, I do believe more Asian players will be coming to events in the future.
I really hope that's the case. Yeah, absolutely, guys. Don't forget throughout the week, StarCraft's over for the weekend, but the beauty is that on GSL, the Korea versus the World tournament, which is now just down to Korea versus Korea tournament, as the best of 4 will be played later on this week. You can, of course, catch this guy's brother, Tasteless, and Artosis, the casting Archon for the, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I hear those cheers.
That's right. And, of course, you can check out gomtv.net for details on when to tune into that. Watch the VODs. They're free throughout this round, so a whole lot of good stuff. So don't forget to check out the Pro Circuit stream with an interview with our winner, Naniwa, and that will be on momentarily, so you're going to want to make sure that you tune into that and see what he has to say about his success, see what he's already mapped out down the road. So, Day9, I think that we should thank all of the amazing people that really make all this happen. We're just the talking heads up here, along with, of course, JP McDaniel.
JP McDaniel, come here, JP. Come on into the shot. Come wave. He's off to the side. He's coming back in. JP McDaniel will be coming in momentarily. Come on, come here. And here he is.
It's going to be just like this morning.
JP McDaniel himself.
Yeah.
There he is, JP, helping the manage out on the front stage. And, of course, coming in to do the commentary.
All the thank you.
Thank you to Wheat and Day9.
Oh, wow. Why do you have to heat me up here,
I love
JP?
how JP,
come on.
JP leaned in to tell you a secret.
I don't know
in front
if you
of
heard
everybody.
what he said. He said, Wheat, I just want to kiss you right now, and I just have to tell you that. But I want to thank the production guys in back as well. Yeah, that's right. Production guys making it so easy for us, letting me know, hey, Wheat, you've got the wrong jacket on. Things like that, you know. And they are absolutely phenomenal. Most of all, the community. Hello,
yes,
guys,
please.
the fans who continue to just blow us away at every single event. We love you guys.
Dude, TeamLiquid.net, Gosu Gamers, Reddit, Something Awful, Penny Arcade, NeoGaf, all the forums that are out there today. Thank you. Much hearts for the support.
Yeah, don't forget we're going to have VODs available, some replays available as well. So you'll want to keep up on MLGpro.com. And as well, if you were an HQ subscriber, don't forget there will be news on the refund that Sundance gave us earlier today. That will also be coming out on MLGpro.com. So, Day9, is it official?
I think it's in. I think that is the conclusion to the 2011 MLG Dallas Pro Circuit event. Thank you so much for hanging out with us all weekend. I am Day9.
And I'm DJ Wheat, and we'll see you next time on the next stop of the MLG 2011 Pro Circuit.